Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. As usual, I'd like to begin the bulletin at least to get our viewers up to speed numerically where India stands with its fight against COVID-19. Overall total figures, we are right now at 12,38,635. We've recorded 29,861 deaths. The worst affected state continues to be the state of Maharashtra, recording a total of 3,37,607 positive cases and 12,556 deaths. Tamil Nadu total cases 1,86,492 positive cases and recording 3,144 deaths. Delhi is recording a COVID positive case number of 1,26,323. Deaths 3,719. This is where India stands right now with its fight against COVID-19, but as usual. So what's happened is, in the last 24 hours, we've seen a collective surge, or what we call a sudden surge, unfortunately, with coronavirus cases. Let's just go state by state. Andhra Pradesh, the cases right now stand at 64,713 with 823 deaths. Telangana, cases at 49,259, recording 438 deaths. Karnataka, 7,55,833 COVID positive cases, recording 1,519 deaths. Kerala, 15,032 positive cases and 45 deaths, while Tamil Nadu recorded its biggest spike yesterday with 1,86,492 positive cases and 3,144 deaths. I want to take you right now to the state of Kerala. Kerala, for the first time, reported more than 1,000 cases in a single day on Wednesday. The state added 1,038 new cases to its tally. One fresh death has also been reported, with the state now crossing 15,000 mark. In view of the rising cases, Kerala is mulling reimposition of lockdown to contain the virus spread. The Kerala Chief Minister has called for an all-party meeting to discuss the COVID-19 situation on Monday. A special cabinet meeting is scheduled to be held. Decisions on relocking will be taken there. I want to connect right now to my colleague Gopi, who's getting us up to speed with the very latest coming in from Kerala. Gopi, is this what is being viewed officially as a second wave of the COVID-19 virus? And is Kerala looking at a lockdown again?
Well, Preeti, if you're talking about the state government perspective, they are actually viewing this as the third wave, because they are assuming the first 3 cases which were directly imported from Wuhan, they are assuming that as a first wave. Then we had this local transmission from various parts of the country and from the globe. That was a second wave, and they are looking at it, or the post-May 3rd wave, as the third wave. Now, I will just quickly take you through the latest numbers, because we just have got those latest numbers. Kerala, for the second consecutive day, has recorded over 1,000 cases. Yesterday, if it was 1,034, today it's 1,078, and also 5 deaths have been officially confirmed in the last 24 hours. So that tells a lot about how the cases and deaths have been increasing in Kerala over a period of last 1 week or so, if I can say. And the state government seems to be taking stock of the situation. Chief Minister yesterday itself hinted at the possibility that we are not saying that there won't be any further lockdown. There may or may not be. We are just mulling all possible options, and tomorrow there is an all-party meeting in which the state government is trying to take into confidence all the opposition parties and other stakeholders. After that, on next Monday, there is a special cabinet which is scheduled in Thiruvananthapuram. Most likely, this cabinet will take a decision on how and when to start this second lockdown in Kerala.
So there is going to be now, it seems, an imminent second lockdown in Kerala. We'll get you the details in the next 24 hours. Appreciate you joining us, Gopi. Let's move on from Kerala right now to Tamil Nadu. The state of Tamil Nadu registered the biggest single-day spike in cases today. The state recorded 6,472 cases, added 88 deaths to its COVID toll. Chennai alone saw 1,336 new cases coming to the fore. With this, Tamil Nadu cases are nearing the 2 lakh mark. Meanwhile, DMK President M.K. Stalin has accused the Tamil Nadu government of hiding COVID deaths, fudging figures. He sought an apology from the Chief Minister for allegedly hiding the COVID deaths. Quickly cutting across to Shalini Lobo for an update. Shalini, the biggest COVID surge recorded in Tamil Nadu. Now also the entire charge of fudging figures of death at the doorstep of the government. All right, we seem to be having a bit of a problem with Shalini's video link, but let's cut across now to the other state, the state of Karnataka. The southern surge continues there as well. The state of Karnataka saw a big jump in COVID-19 cases. To be precise, 4,764 cases and 55 deaths were recorded in the state yesterday. Bengaluru remains a huge cause for concern for the state government as it added more than 2,000 new cases to the tally. Karnataka now has over 75,000 cases and over 1,500 deaths. Nolan Pinto joining me live from Bengaluru. Nolan, can you get us up to speed with the current situation? Yes, there is an entire political blame game also taking place on the sidelines of what the Congress calls a scam where ventilators are concerned.
Well, absolutely, Preeti. In fact, the numbers that you gave bang on. In fact, yesterday, Karnataka registered 4,700 odd cases. But today, I'm just getting the details. It's a 5,000 and change, basically, cases. This is our highest. We have finally crossed the 5,000 mark. It's not good. Now, Bengaluru has registered out of the 5,000, 2,200 odd number of cases with some 96, 97 deaths. Yes, the numbers are increasing. The officials state it's because of the increase in the number of samples being tested. So it's not just the RT-PCR tests that are that's being followed over here, but the rapid antigen tests as well. In fact, yesterday, the rapid antigen was much more than the RT-PCR. And as of now, well, that's the situation. The official state, this is because the increase in numbers is because of the testing that has increased. It's almost 50,000 samples per day, and also because of inter-district travel. Nevertheless, the Chief Minister says that until and unless the vaccine comes, the only option, prevention, is basically wear a mask and practice social or physical distancing in the state.
Nolan, appreciate you joining us, but I want to quickly get our viewers up to speed. Of course, there is at one end the huge spike in COVID positive cases. On the other hand, the political slugfest over what the Congress calls a COVID scam. Amidst the spike of COVID cases, the opposition Congress has taken on the BSY government over the prices of ventilators in the state. Former Karnataka Chief Minister, Congress leader Siddaramaiah accused the state government of indulging in corrupt practices over the purchase of ventilators. Congress claims that while the Tamil Nadu government purchased ventilators at 4.78 lakh rupees per ventilator, Karnataka strangely bought the same from 5 to 18 lakh rupees per ventilator, while the same is available at 4 lakh rupees under the PM CARES Fund. Congress also demanded a judicial inquiry into the alleged scam. Not only the ventilators, the Congress has also questioned the buying of other COVID equipment. Siddaramaiah also questioned why 3 lakh PPE kits were ordered from China.
They are telling that they have spent only 324 crores. But according to me, the government has spent more than 4,000 crores, in which nearly 2,000 crores is misappropriated. It has gone to the pockets of ministers, officers, and all that. Let it be inquired into in detail by a sitting High Court judge. Why you are afraid? If you are honest and transparent in purchases?
When they are purchasing at a different rates, it is not only 5%, 10% different. More than 60, 70, in some cases 100%, 200% difference is there. When you are so clear, why are you not allowing Public Accounts Committee to function? Why are you stopping them? You are telling that you are going to give everything. When a minister, deputy CM can't answer, why is allowing the officers to speak? Which minister has gone to hospital? Is it the way you threw the bodies? I am very sorry. The image of Karnataka is in a shambles.
I am not aware what he has made allegation. Let us see. Let us see. Already first round of information has been already provided by the government. We have come out very clear about how it has been spent. We are very clear about it. They are only busy in allegation. Not interested in people, not concerned about the people, and people are looking up to them to address their concern and safety, which they are not interested, probably only busy in politics.
I want to take a quick question from Nolan Pinto back. Nolan, once again, the focus is Bengaluru. You've had a case surge of over 2,000 only coming in terms of import of positive cases from Bengaluru. On the sidelines, this politics playing over a possible scam which the Congress alleges. Is the government going to issue a white paper on it?
Well, in fact, the Congress very clearly has stated that the state government has spent a large amount of money on buying ventilators, and they believe that this is a massive scam. They say that it's not just the ventilators, but also all other protective equipment. You're talking about the PPEs, you're talking about gloves and masks and so on and so forth. However, the government, in fact, came out. 6 ministers, along with the Chief Secretary, were present this afternoon. The 6 ministers all spoke to the media. They actually, point by point, explained all the doubts and gave clarifications on what exactly is the situation. Now, the opposition very clearly says that while Tamil Nadu bought these ventilators for hardly 4.4 odd lakh rupees, the government states that those ventilators are not your high-powered ventilators. They are the ones that are used in ambulances, and what they have bought over here were different ones. They also state that you must keep in mind the supply and demand problems, because in the month of March and April there was a huge demand but very less supply, and however things changed in June, July, when everything almost stabilized. So when a PPE, 10-piece or 10-piece PPE costed about 1,500 rupees, then when people were actually, hardly people knew about it, it's now come down to 500 odd rupees. That is in the month of July. So such is the problem. They say that the Congress only wants to actually come about and create, it's a diversionary tactic. In fact, sources in the BJP also tell us that Siddaramaiah wanted to come out with these allegations because of the tiff or the rift that is going on between DK and Siddaramaiah being pushed in the background. So this is the only way for him to come out and state that yes, he is still present. However, these are diversionary tactics. The government very clearly states that the job of the opposition, yes, bring it out on the floor of the House, but as of now, support them so that they can together fight this pandemic.
Appreciate you joining us, Nolan. We're going to continue coming back to you for more updates on that story. Meanwhile, let's get you a quick update on what's happening in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra registered the highest single-day jump in cases, recorded nearly 8,000 cases in just 24 hours. The state saw 61 fresh deaths added to its tally, with the total cases in Andhra crossing 72,000, while the death toll stands at 884. Pradesh now is the state with the 5th highest number of cases. Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Delhi and Karnataka are the only states with more cases than Andhra Pradesh. It has also registered the fastest growth in cases when compared with all other major states. What is in fact unusual about Andhra Pradesh is that it is South India's least urbanized state, and the cases are even spread amongst its district. All right, the latest news break coming in right now. This is coming into Bengaluru. We are going to go back to the state of Karnataka and the city of Bengaluru, from which are emerging images which will shock you, of the BBMP officials sealing a building of a COVID patient in Bengaluru using metal sheets. The metal sheets fixed to entrances of both flats. After the lady, Prerna Bhasin, raised the issue with BBMP, the sheets were removed in the evening. All right, so that's the latest news break that we are getting in right now. I want to cut across to get a larger understanding on what has exactly gone down. Prerna Bhasin, the lady in question, joins us. Prerna, would you just detail exactly what has happened?
Hi, firstly, my name is Purna. So BBMP came this morning and put those tin sheets up at the entrance of our apartment. My lady health was tested positive on the 18th of July. And today, on the 20th, someone came from BBMP and put out the sticker for home quarantine till the 31st of July. And this morning, BBMP, I think they were contractors from the BBMP office, of the BBMP, they came and put up these tin sheets just outside the apartment, like you see in the pictures.
Purna, your house help has tested COVID positive. Anybody else in the family that is tested positive? And what was the reasoning for putting up these metal sheets?
Because of my help. She was tested positive on the 18th, like I said. Because of that, they came and sealed this. They said, what I was told by the RWA was that they will be sealing the floor, which is all right, but we didn't realize they're going to be putting these tin sheets right outside our main door. That is the only exit to our apartment. So basically, the entire day we've been inside the apartment with those tin sheets put up the way that they were. We had no access to the lifts, no stairs. In case of an emergency, we were just stuck indoors.
Were you given any explanation at all while these sheets were being put up?
Well, I wasn't in touch. It's an apartment building, so there is an RWA, there's a committee. So someone from the committee came up to my apartment this morning and rang the bell, said that they're going to be coming and sealing the floor. I said, no worries, we're anyway going to be indoors. But and obviously I didn't open the door when they were doing the job because I have a positive case in my house. So once they were done and there was no sound, I opened the door and saw this tin sheet right. I mean, it was blocking the view out. I mean, it was just at the door.
And they've taken them out now?
Yes, they came at 7 o'clock, and I think someone from BBMP was contacted, and they sort of actioned it, and they came and did what they had to.
Appreciate you joining us, Purna. Well, it does seem to suggest the bizarre policy that at least Bengaluru has when it comes down on what they need to do with COVID positive cases. Yes, if there is home quarantine, you don't go ahead and seal their apartment altogether, which happened there. But those metal sheets that you saw have been taken down. Meanwhile, I want to quickly get you up to speed. Every day we end the bulletin with fact checks. Now, there is a claim floating about on social media suggesting WhatsApp released videos to hack and format your phone. The fact check on that, the video viruses are not real. These hoaxes have been going viral for years now, so false. The other claim that is making the rounds suggests union government revoked the power of police to grant bail. Fact check on that, the government has not issued any such notification. False again. With these two fact checks, it's a wrap on this edition of news. Do stay tuned. Up next is To The Point. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.